jumping over to Marvel now. We have the Inhumans.
Mm-hmm. The Inhumans, which was originally supposed to be a movie.
Tell them really quick about that. Like, kind of give a rundown.
So, a few years back when Kevin Feige announced Phase 3 and Doctor Strange and Civil War and Ragnarok and Black Panther.
In 2014, I think, right?
Yeah. Yes. They also announced Inhumans, which is for people who don't know, is basically Marvel, which is basically Marvel's answer to the X-Men because they don't have the rights, which we'll get into later.
Well, the Inhumans were around in comic form for a long amount of time, but in terms of them pushing the Inhumans to be a feature film was because of what you said.
Yeah, was because of X-Men. But some things happened, got a little screwy, and it got bumped down to a TV show. And in the first trailer, it showed. The first trailer was lackluster at best.
It was lacking of some.
I think I don't have a problem with the casting. I mean,
the casting was great
because I mean you've got Iwan Rheon.
You've got Ramsey friggin' Bolton.
I mean, you have Anson Mount as Black Bolt, and he's actually was really really awesome on AMC's Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
You have a really good cast, and I don't know who the showrunner is, but you had made a good point before the episode talking about it was basically the comparison to the first and second things was really to do with the effects, because to drop from a potentially $200 million blockbuster produced by Disney to now to like how much money they spent on a TV budget.
Yeah, I'm guessing the TV budget.
Fluctuates.
And drop it. Drop the comment down below, but like I'm assuming it's got to be in the double-digit millions, maybe. Like
it's probably in the millions, yes, but you have to account for that's not going to like effects. That has to go to shooting locations.
Yeah.
That has to go to paying like the crew.
But
this is all part of the same thing.
But anyways, and the first trailer it was trashed by. Everyone hated it. It was bad.
I don't know that everyone hated it, but it was not well received.
It wasn't what we were expecting. And then
what they built up with the films.
Yeah, and then Comic-Con rolled around and they kicked the door in. They showed a lot of really like improved effects. We got to see Medusa's hair in action, which for me that really did something, because I was saying, and me and everybody else was saying it looks like a bad cosplay wig.
Well, because it is a wig actually. The actress who plays Medusa said that she has the wig, and that in post they edit it to where with her hand movements and how she interacts within the frame of the scene, that they edit the hair to move and do the different actions, whether it's to grab something or lash out or something like that. So I think the first trailer was a little just her wig, and of course just the wig is kind of like it looks like a Simpsons haircut. But
let me get into let me just go and I'll get to that in a second. But one of the bigger critiques about the show is the fact that Black Bolt and Medusa won't have a psychic link, because in the comics they talk via a psychic link, and because for those of you who don't follow the comics, Black Bolt he's not supposed to speak because
he can speak.
Yeah, he can speak,
but you're dead.
Yeah, like a single whisper can
snap your neck,
or rather level a city. And so, but instead of the psychic link, they're speaking in a Inhuman sign language, right?
It's the sign language that he picks up on their home planet.
Yeah,
the Inhuman home planet.
And so I feel like that'll be fun to watch, especially for viewers that are are deaf, or mute, that have to use sign language. I feel like that's
probably why they did it.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a fun interaction for fans with fans like that, and
well, really quick, let me ask you something,
yeah.
because this is actually, and maybe because I really want to hear your opinions on it, because we didn't have it in our show notes, but it's something that I think is important to discuss. Atalan, the home planet of the Inhumans, in the comics, it's its own planet, like it's its own kingdom way off. But in the Humans, show, it's a city on the on the moon.
Is it below the surface of the moon, or is it on the moon?
Well, I didn't really get a good grasp of whether it's. I mean, you'd think that it has to be within the moon or shielded. Maybe like they have a way to shield it,
like
because. Yeah, because basically I'm like, how could you have, like, with the Humans, they could see all the moon, like, with its rotations and everything, we could see, and we have our, the International Space Station, so we would see if there was a giant city on the surface of the moon.
But,
so how do you guys feel about them changing that and having that be on the moon now? And being really close to Earth like that?
I mean, it makes, for the TV shows, it makes sense, especially with where the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are right now.
Introducing Inhumans and everything like they've done.
Well, not just that, like where they actually are with how the season left off. I feel like it's the perfect time to introduce the Inhumans on, they changed locations to the moon, but I'm okay with it as long as they can like make it, as long as they can have it make sense, then I'm okay with it. But,
would you put money down, like, if you had to bet $5 right now that within some point in the first season that they reference the Inhumans that we've known on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
And that maybe it's down the pipeline, do you think it's in their path, so to speak, when they're playing this out, to maybe eventually cross over, because they're both on ABC, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans are both on ABC. Do you think they'll cross over?
Maybe.
That's a high probability.
Let me just segue into the character.
Yeah, sure. Give people a brief introduction about who they are.
So Black Bolt is the leader of the Inhumans, and he's, like I said, he can't speak because his powers are based off of his vocal cords, basically, right?
Seismic waves.
He can make seismic waves with his vocal cords, and like I said before, a single whisper can level a town or level a city.
That's more like
and in the comics, for example, he lets out the full force of his powers, point blank range, in front of Thanos, and Thanos doesn't flinch.
Well, was this but I think that was Thanos with full Infinity Gauntlet,
with the
and that's him being able to control time and space and everything. But
let me move on. And Maximus the Mad, his brother, played by Ramsay Bolton, like I said, he's the brother of Black Bolt. He tries to overthrow Black Bolt to become the leader of the Inhumans, and interestingly enough, he was born an Inhuman, in the show at least. He was born an Inhuman, and through the Terrigen Mist process, he loses his powers, so he becomes a human. And through that, all the Inhumans on their Atalan, they don't respect him because he's a human.
They look down upon him.
And to segue, Medusa, Black Bolt's wife, she, like I said, she's his wife, and her power set. Her name's Medusa, so you would imagine her hair is her is a weapon.
She can mad weave.
She can, basically. And Lockjaw, the new Groot of the
at least the television side. He'll be the Groot of the television universe.
He is a 2,000-pound teleporting dog, basically, and that's what he does. He teleports, and he's the pet of Crystal, who is Medusa's
younger sister.
Younger sister, and the youngest member of the
royal family.
Of the royal family, and she can control the elements. And which brings me to Gorgon, who is Black Bolt's cousin and the military leader, and he can make like Black Bolt, he can make seismic waves with his hooves. And going over to Karnak, which is also Black Bolt's cousin, and the royal family philosopher, and I'm drawing a blank on his powers right now.
He's not. It's not focusing on his powers, but the big thing to take away is that they're all connected, whether it's through blood or through marriage. Right. They're all they are Marvel's royal family, and they have a big part to play in terms of, like you were talking about Crystal. Crystal has, they did say that Crystal's arc in the show is going to be like to connect with the younger audiences, because she's going to have a coming of age story where she's going to have to deal with her powers and how they're evolving.
And
she's going to have to learn how to maintain them, control them.
And just real quick, we are us as a panel are going to go see the first 2 episodes in IMAX September 1st when it premieres in IMAX, and I would highly recommend, if you can go see it in IMAX. Yeah, because they're
filming the whole filming the whole show, at least for the first season. They're filming in IMAX, and it's going to be starting September 1st. It's going to be in there for 2 weeks, so it's not like it's a limited engagement. I mean, it is limited engagement in terms of 2 weeks, but I mean that's
limited.
So you have the chance. I mean, if you like Marvel and you like, and you want to go see something, go check it out. I mean, and that'll probably encourage, especially to get the full grasp of like them filming it in IMAX. You're not going to be able to appreciate it on a regular home screen. No. Well, really, with Inhumans, you've got really cool characters. You have a really great cast. It's got a lot of cool things coming from ABC. I think this looks like they're really trying to learn from what people had to say about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in terms of, like, really focusing more on the superheroes and less about the the human characters.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but segueing into that, we are going to... That's all for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching.
And be sure to like this video and subscribe.
And click the link in the description below to follow us on social media.
See you guys next time.